Hey, before we get into the podcast, I just want to thank this week's sponsor. This week's sponsor is Sock Panda. They are a monthly sock subscription service, and I have personally bought them for members of my family, specifically my daughter. She absolutely loved them. Once a month, she'd be able to go out to the mailbox and get a new pair of socks, and it was always a surprise on like what they were. Sometimes it was like a surfing squirrel, and other times there were aliens. It was just pretty much all sorts of socks for everything you could possibly imagine. And they have men's socks, women's socks, tween socks, kids socks, and you can go on and you can purchase just one set, or you can get a subscription, and it makes for a great gift. And we're heading into the holiday season, and supply chains are an issue, so this is going to be a great gift that gives for the whole year or 6 months or however long you want to sign up for the sock subscription. And even better than that, the Sock Panda team is dedicated to using its socks to make the world a better place. The company donates socks to those in need for every purchase. As of today, the company has donated over 141,000 pairs of socks to homeless shelters, low-income senior centers, hospitals, and underprivileged classrooms throughout the country. You can't go wrong with Sock Panda. They make great stuff, and they do great things. And today, they're giving our listeners a 15% discount. So you can go to sockpanda.com/discounts/inebriart15 to get 15% off your order. And we just want to say thank you to them for sponsoring the show. And make sure you go there and get some socks for yourself or for your loved ones this holiday season. I'm looking at the cues.
Oh, you got your phone down
I got the cues.
Oh, like, all right, he's just taking a little nap.
Wouldn't be the first time that happened on a podcast.
You just fucking had narcolepsy or something, dude?
We recorded Old Colony Cast one day after filming Day Drinking.
Yeah, that's always a good idea.
May taking a nap in that one.
Is that the tornado one?
Nope.
Oh, all right, I got to listen to that one.
No, it's an older one.
Is that out now?
The tornado?
No, the day drinking?
No, Monday.
Monday.
Yeah. Welcome to BarTalk Day Drinking. No. What the hell are we on?
We're on the
Welcome
BarTalk
to
Podcast.
BarTalk Podcast. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore.
Oh, I was trying to help.
Start over.
Nice. Oh, real nice.
It didn't spill. I was just trying to get it out of your way.
All right. Welcome to the BarTalk
Nice guy.
Podcast. I am Andy, your host from Inebriart, and I am joined today by Teddy McGuire, author
Hello.
of Dive Bar Qualifier.
Hello, thanks for having me.
And Karl Heine of the New World Tavern, where
Hello,
we're recording.
everybody.
Thank you again, Karl, for letting us record here.
Okay.
And Jordan Shabbat of Speedwell Tavern.
There was totally not a discussion of hey, let's make sure we thank Karl every
I
time.
know,
we
then
do
you
that.
thank him and he gets all like meh about it.
What's up?
You can thank me anytime you want.
All right. Thank you.
And he'll respond however he wants.
Yes. So, I mean, it seems like we're kind of in the flow of doing a topic podcast and then a Q&A one, so it's Q&A time. Or what did we decide? Questions and talking, because we don't really answer.
Yeah,
We don't really answer any
Yeah.
questions. We just say how stupid the question was and then talk about something else.
Yeah, or like, it is a stupid question, then we like overanalyze it to
Right.
death. Yeah.
And then at the end, we're like, that was actually a really good question.
All right, this one is from Alicia Cochran.
He said cock.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary. This is topical because New World just hit 10 years.
That's right.
And I would like to do something special. That's really weird. We have band that's coming to play, but I need more ideas. Any suggestion?
1 year anniversary. Got a band.
Well, what kind of place do you think they are?
Does not say.
Yeah, I need more. I need more information. I would staff. I would make sure you put your open flag out. Maybe have some people in the kitchen to cook.
What if
some
it's a
food.
strip joint?
We always.
I
you
feel like
can't
they
do
would
that for
say
everything,
it was a strip
Karl.
joint, Karl. Well, I feel
Every question we get, what if it's a strip joint?
I feel like it's going to be as big a deal as you make it.
That's correct.
You know. So
And how
like-
big's your place? I mean, you're getting a band in, so I'm assuming it's a little bigger than small.
Right. That's helpful. A little bigger than small. Medium?
So have some drink specials, have some food specials, get some people up there, market.
Yeah, get the word out.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe some merchandise.
Yeah.
Sell some shirts.
Yeah, anniversary shirt. Sure.
Yeah, people love a T-shirt.
Reach out to your beer distributors. Get some beer swag
Yeah.
to give away.
You liquor guys?
People like giveaways.
I said liquor guys.
This guy.
So, I mean, are they still giving away swag?
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you
it's
can get
not
a
as
Bud
much
Light
as-
T-shirt, you get 10 of them, and they,
Yeah, it's not as much as it was.
makes a man look like he's been in a wet T-shirt
I've
contest.
seen some really weird.
Because you can see right through it.
They're coming back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's not what it used to be. You're not gonna get a houseboat or something. But I don't know. I was thinking something big. I feel like they've given away a houseboat.
I've seen a dartboard.
Dartboards. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty common.
Yeah.
Remember Pepsi points?
I do.
Remember when they did like a fake commercial and they were
With the
like,
Harrier jet.
Yeah.
Yep.
And somebody collected enough Pepsi points to get a Harrier jet and they sued them.
Well, what it was
I missed that.
yeah. So at the
it was
end,
like 20 years ago.
Holy-
yeah. So at the end, they show this Harrier jet, and they 2 million Pepsi points or whatever, and then on the form you fill out to get the product, you could substitute cash for Pepsi points, and it was 10 cents per point or whatever. And this guy realized that the cost of a Harrier jet was 3 times of what it actually worked out to, and he fucking wrote him a check, and he's like, "Send me my Harrier jet," and they're like,
Wow.
"No," so he sued him.
Yeah, and he won.
Yeah,
Which is
Yeah.
why you see more disclaimers than anything on commercials now.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep. That's why you don't say, I can sell you this car for a song. Because
Right.
people used to come in and sing and say, where's my car?
Right.
yeah.
Well, you figure, I mean, Pepsi should have had a legal team that covered that.
Yeah,
in the
someone should
fine
definitely
print.
fucking caught that, or
Yeah.
at least did the math. Been
Yeah,
like,
But how's that board meeting go? Here's my idea. And then he presents it. That's a great idea.
Right.
Let's do it.
Yeah, they deserve to be
He's not the
sued.
only one that said, let's do it.
Oh, yeah,
It was,
yeah. it went through
You
committee.
figure the legal team would say, excuse me?
Right.
Yeah.
There has to be a disclaimer at least at the bottom of the screen that no one can read, but it's there.
This
you
is
know?
not
Yeah.
a
A
real
little
Harrier.
disclaimer, it's like you get a model of the, plastic model.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, we hope that answered your question about Harrier jets. Stephanie Crowder, what are casual small places doing to help keep sales up during the holidays?
Gift cards, baby.
Yeah, I feel like gift cards are.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what casual small. That still doesn't give me a. Like,
It's
what do you
hard,
mean?
though. It's
I
hard to
feel
get
like you're
people in during the
casual
holidays
small.
because of the
Right.
holiday parties. Whether you're a big place, small place, or whatever that it is, people have house parties, people have gatherings, people are saving up for Christmas presents. People don't want to go out.
Do you find
It's-
it's a harder time to get people in during the holidays? I figured people would be out more.
No,
Really?
no, it gets slower around the holidays.
I don't see. My place is different.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, you get people out, maybe they're not out as late,
Yeah.
but they're, New Year's Eve. Frankly, I like the break.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's holidays. I mean, everybody wants to take some time off, so it's okay to be slow.
Well, let me ask you the question that this person should have asked. How does daylight savings time affect business? Because I know I've been in places been like, oh my God, it's so late. And you look and you're like, it's 8:30.
Well, it depends on which
Yeah.
time you're talking about.
So like this one where we just fell back and it's
we
getting
like
dark.
we love it in the restaurant industry because
Okay.
it gets darker earlier and people will come out.
Right.
During the summer, it's still light at 9 o'clock at night. People are at the beach. People are outside. People
realize.
are walking around.
The
Yeah.
sun, they're like, oh, wait a minute, we got to get in there and get some dinner. It's sun's going down.
Right.
Yeah.
So we are busier because it gets darker earlier.
Okay. To me, it's always like I feel like I'm going home earlier. 'cause-
Now let's talk from bar ownership point of view about the holidays. This holiday kills us because we're usually closed on Christmas Eve and we're always closed on Christmas Day, and that's a Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
and that's my two
Oh,
biggest days
is
of the
it?
year.
Yeah.
My whole week is lost.
Yeah.
yeah.
It happens every what?
Every 7
8
years. Yeah.
Well, no, because a leap year fucks it all up.
Every 6 years.
It's every 6 years. Yeah. Yeah.
But we don't count that leap year sometimes. We just go
Yeah.
right to March 1st.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a business killer. Killer.
I didn't think about that on
But
the.
you know what,
Can
though?
you skew like music? Put music on Thursday. And,
You can.
Because a lot of people take the whole week off.
Right, you
when
can,
there's a
but
holiday
even
on
that
a
Thursday
Saturday.
night before that Friday of Christmas Eve, people
Right.
aren't coming out like they would on a Saturday on a regular week.
No,
Right.
because they're still like getting together with friends and family
Yeah,
and shit.
I just find like
it's a business killer when you have to close down for 2 of the busiest days. Of the week.
Yeah.
It does spread out a little bit. You're never gonna make up that whole Saturday, but I do think when it falls on the weekend, the people who are like, well, I'm getting screwed out of a day off because usually I get Christmas off and it falls on a Wednesday and that's a work day for me. It like people will take that week off. It spreads out. The party seems to go longer. When
Yeah, but you're never
holidays
going
are
to
on
make
the
up for a
weekend.
Friday and Saturday.
You're never gonna make up
If it's
for
a
it,
Monday
that's
and
why I started
Tuesday,
with
that's optimal.
Yeah.
Because
right, because you just
you
close
get the
it,
whole
whatever.
weekend, and the weekend's jumping because
Right.
everybody's got that weekend off.
Right. Sure.
And then you got the day before Thanksgiving. And that's
The
a crazy
Wednesday night?
Yeah.
yeah, that's not what it used to be.
No?
No, that used to be it. Well, we're not a college town, really.
Right, it's a younger crowd.
Well, we
that
do
comes-
Yeah.
well. We do well because we have music in the back.
Yeah.
So
I
that'll be
thought it was
it'll
It's
be
like
a
another
huge,
Friday for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably a little more than a Friday for me.
Yeah.
but I'll take 2 Fridays in a week.
Right, because everyone's got the next day off. But that was always a big day coming up for me because it was like all the college kids come home the day before Thanksgiving. They all meet up. You drink with your town friends
Yep.
and you tear it up and you got the whole day the next day to sit on the couch and watch football and recover. Nowadays it's not like that. Everyone's smoking weed. I don't know. It's just like it's not that same. Let's go out, get fucked up, do Jaeger bombs crowd anymore. I mean, they're out there, but it's the
Right,
volume
it's
is
not
not
in
the
numbers,
same.
I
Interesting.
agree.
Yeah.
Mark Petrov. Anyone have experience in closing a restaurant? Sorry, Mark. We're getting close to the end of the line where it seems to, where that seems a reality really soon. All of this is new to us. We will be selling off all our equipment and want to know what's the best way to go about this. We are in the Midwest. I don't know what that has to do with.
Well, I'm glad to say I have never been through that.
Yeah,
That's gonna
I
suck.
wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Try to make as much money as possible
Yep.
selling the gear off.
So you can pay your taxes
Yeah.
because that's where it's all going to go.
I know. So my partner just sold their restaurant last year, which was a waterfront restaurant in a really hoity-toity part of Mass, and rent just got too high. Whatever it is, whatever reason it didn't work, but they did go through that. And I remember he was lucky enough to sell. You really do. You just kind of sell it off piece by piece. Sell as much as you can while you have control of it, because whatever's left is going to go to the next people, whether it be the landlord or whoever purchased it. But he did. He sold the equipment as a lot. You basically hope another restaurant comes in and buys
Yeah,
it, essentially.
yeah, right.
You know.
Yeah, I feel like you'd probably just be better off selling the whole kit and
Yeah.
caboodle.
Yeah.
I do
Hand him the
remember
key.
there was Frankie D's in Kingston who heard multiple stories but got evicted and were basically given like 48 hours to like vacate the premises.
Damn.
Premises? And they just put out like a social media thing, been like, hey, we need some help. And people were showing up with fucking box trucks. And
Yeah.
they felt like the landlords were kind of doing it, be like, oh, anything left behind is,
Right.
is ours, and we're going to have more or less a built restaurant. And like fucking ovens went out, fryers went out,
Yeah.
like it was bare bones. When
And
the
then we
time to-
drank as much as we could.
Yep.
Yeah.
If they put that much motivation into running the fucking restaurant, they wouldn't have been closed down. It drives.
I don't know.
Spike just
I
drives
heard
people.
it was other. From what I heard, it was kind of they were giving the shit end of the stick, but I don't really know.
Really?
I don't know, things like that don't happen overnight.
Yeah. Oh, for
Right.
sure.
The landlord never comes up and says, you have 48 hours to evacuate.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
That shouldn't have been a surprise.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like any job. If you get fired from a job, you shouldn't be surprised. Like, it's either something that's been going on and on and on, or you fucked up huge. you
Right.
know?
Right.
So,
I think it took its course. It was because I know I was there. I saw a lot of it, but restaurants kind of have or can have a maybe a 6 to 8 year kind of thing, maybe 10 years, and then you got to kind of reinvent yourself and
Yeah.
keep the thing going. And I think it just came to a point where they didn't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Now, whether they made the choice to let it ride and let it get to the point where they were getting in the boot, I wasn't involved with that end of it, but
yeah.
I remember it was not an easy time for them.
Yeah. I mean,
I
I only met him once. It seemed nice. Yeah.
that was also over at that time.
Oh, that I did not.
Oh,
See,
okay.
there's always a back to that
yeah,
story.
yeah.
There's
The
always
restaurant
something.
industry claims restaurants and relationships sometimes,
That's I've seen that multiple times.
but I think they're both doing great.
Well, that's good.
I know Dina's doing really well.
Oh, excellent.
Update.
Yeah. Happy ending. Rena Khan, what's your employee discipline policy look like? What is your incentive guidelines? Do you have a specific? Well, So I've worked for multiple corporate businesses, and you get like employee handbook and guidelines on how the hiring process works, the firing process works. Like, do you have that being like a small business? Do you have?
No, we're here. We're known as employees at will.
Okay.
So in that sense, you can let anybody go or anybody can quit
Yeah.
because there is no contracts. There are no, it's a hire off the street kind of place. You can let anybody go for any reason. Legally. Got to have a reason.
But it has to be work related.
Yeah.
You can't let anybody go for something that's outside of work.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody shows up drunk, you can let them go right there.
Right, because they showed up drunk.
Right.
But if they have their day off on their Saturday and you heard they got hammered at another place,
Correct.
you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
do
yeah.
anything about that.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can let anybody go for any reason. And
Yep.
It could be they were late for work, but they were only late by 2 minutes. Doesn't matter.
You can still let them go.
Now, they can also sue you and say, everybody else is late. Why didn't anybody else get fired?
They're not going to win that.
Right.
So you obviously got to be smart about it. But, yeah, it's an employee at will.
So you don't have any kind of written policy?
Nope.
No.
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
You can. If you're call it a higher end restaurant that has an executive chef, you can have a contract with the executive chef on pay and
It's
all
not
that,
even necessarily.
and then you can put in that agreement that if you leave here, you can't work within 10 miles of this restaurant.
Yeah.
Right, non-compete.
But if I fire you, you can work wherever you want.
But it doesn't even have to be a contract, Karl. Like, you can just have, like, this is our policy that your dishwasher gets. Just be like, this
Well,
is...
yeah, you have to
Yeah.
have policies.
Yeah.
Because then they don't know that they're breaking the policy.
Right.
So policies and procedures are always there.
But you don't necessarily have them, like... You don't
I don't have a
like
guidebook.
written
I don't-
handbook.
No.
We have we have a handbook that we have the employee sign when we give it to them.
Okay.
But I don't think anybody they don't sign it. They just signed, yes, I've received it.
Right.
So now that if we fire them, we can say, well, it was in the handbook that you can't do that, and you signed here saying you got to read just because you didn't read it.
Right.
Right.
But
Yeah.
in it says, you're an employee at will. And the other one is wash your hands and
Yep.
Don't be drunk. And
Right.
Yeah.
You might want to, in that handbook, if there's a section or a special handbook for dishwashers, you might want to let them have a pass on the smoking weed thing. Because dishwashing might be the only job where you actually do much better at it when you're not stoned.
see,
Now, Karl didn't appreciate that.
It is a shit job.
Yeah, but I
it's
mean, when
not.
you're-
You know
when
how much
get in
food
the-
they get to eat?
Well,
Well, I'm sure they do.
okay, but I mean,
Because he's smoking weed in the alley and he's coming back in and he's eating all everybody's leftovers.
well, that's not good either, though.
But that's not good.
If you're eating off plates.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll see if they're, awake because I send a plate in there and I write "you suck" with ketchup on it.
Well, I mean, if they're doing opioids, that's bad.
Yes.
But smoking weed and you get in a zone, you can clean some dishes, man. Those pots, you'd be looking at them like, man, are these new?
Those pots, get it? Smoking.
No, I did not intend that pun, but thank you for pointing that out, Karl.
if you're trying to hire a dishwasher that doesn't smoke weed, then you're never going to hire a dishwasher.
I was gonna say, I did it for one day, and I'm like, that fucking sucks. Man.
Smoked weed?
Yeah, I did that.
Well, it's
for one-
legal now.
I know. Well, where?
Well, it's different from alcohol. Alcohol, if you're drunk on the job, it's totally different from being stoned as a dishwasher.
Drinking a hemp soda as we speak. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I
As
feel
I
like
slam it against the microphone.
I don't know how you could fuck up washing dishes being stoned. Like, I feel like you'd have to be really.
But can't you say you're under the influence? And
Of
that's
course, yeah.
against company
Company
policy
policy
because you
is-
signed
yeah,
the
yeah,
handbook.
for sure.
Of course.
All right, well, then the message to the dishwashers, don't get that stoned.
Yeah.
Get stoned enough to do an amazing job and stop right there.
It's always
Control yourself.
it's always that tipping point, Teddy. It's like
There
you
is.
know,
It's right.
it's
We
like
all
getting
play with
drunk
fire.
enough, but not so
Right.
drunk that you forget that you want to be drunk enough and you just keep going.
Well, the other thing is this.
I never know I'm drunk until the next day when I wake up.
I've never seen anyone stoned bust up a bar room.
No.
You know what I mean? So that's why I think legalizing it is okay.
Yeah.
You know
Agreed.
what
I feel like at worst you're very absent-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, you forgot to wash the dishes?
Yeah.
No, you might have forgot to punch out.
Yeah. All right. Chris Chase, call-offs. I assume that's like call-outs? Might be
Yeah, we've had that
region?
before. That's like a regional
We
thing.
call
Yeah.
them bang-ins.
Bang in,
what
bang out.
What
Somebody
do you
banged
do
in.
to reduce them? Seems like every time I arrange time to finally do some office work, someone calls off and I'm stuck covering a shift.
Yeah.
I'd say an
They're from
employee at will.
California. Must be California.
See ya.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. That's a tough one.
Hire people who have bills to pay. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I think Karl and I talk about this all the time. We like having, I'm assuming this might be front of the house, might not be. Let's just say it's front of the house for the sake of the conversation.
Okay. Way to shit on front of house. It's fine.
Well, because they make the most money in the building.
Okay.
So if they're working 3 days a week and there's 2 waitresses on the floor, they're one of the 2 waitresses, but they're getting 20 tables a night, they're walking out with $600-700 in those 3 shifts. Boom, they got those 3 shifts. And then you got stressful service, it's a stressful shift. Now, could I put one more server on those days? Hire somebody, put another server on those days. Now that server's making less money on that shift, but she's got 4 more days off in the week. She can work another shift. Service gets better. I have more people on hand on the schedule to cover shifts when people call out. It's just one of those things. So it sounds like if you're getting it that often, maybe they're making too much money. They don't value their shifts anymore because they don't.
Yeah, plain off, get rid of them. Yeah, it might be harder in the short term
Yeah.
to replace them and get better service in there. But if they're calling in sick all the time, you're not getting better service anyway. So get rid of them and get somebody else in who's more responsible.
Right.
So
So if they keep on banging in sick,
Yeah.
they have no respect for your business. And if somebody has no respect for my business, then I don't want them working here.
and the worst part is it breeds resentment amongst everyone else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because they're the one picking up the pieces.
That's right.
Yeah.
Including
So-
this. Whoever
so
this
they're
person
either-
is.
And then they say, screw this, I'm calling in sick next week.
Right. Or they get really jaded because they have bills to pay.
Yeah, something about reliability. You know what I mean? You could be the best bartender in the world if you're not reliable. What the hell's the point?
That's right.
You're never here.
You could be the best bartender in the world. I don't need you.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ted?
I think people need to have a better work ethic generally. It's just, it's out of control. I don't know where.
And like I say, once you let it go, it's always going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm going to play devil's advocate
Sure.
because I like to do that. Is there something about your scheduling or your time off request policy that is driving people to have to call in?
Well, yes. An
So-
example would be at the New World Tavern,
Yeah.
you have your shift. Your shift is Monday, Wednesday, Friday
Yeah.
from 6 o'clock to close. Okay, that's your shift every week.
I can't make it this Wednesday.
Okay? Every week, that's your shift. That's what you agreed to work.
Right.
Now, if I said, okay, I'm going to hire you, and every Wednesday I'm going to put the schedule up, and you have no idea what day you're working the next week, then yeah, you're more apt to call in sick because, well, I can't work Tuesday because,
Because I can't schedule my life.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Right.
and we also love it here for other reasons, but for scheduling reasons, you know when you have to be here. So you know I can't make it next, 2 weeks from Wednesday. Get coverage.
Right.
Get coverage for it. If you don't know your schedule going into it, you're more likely to bang in sick. So yes, you can
Yeah.
control that to a point to say, why are you calling in sick every other Wednesday? That's your shift.
Right.
Oh, well,
Or if
and you know what we do? And then
Yeah.
we get this, it's a common thing to say, well, I'm going to give up my Wednesdays. No, your shifts are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You're fired.
Yeah.
Or you quit because you can't work here. You can't give up a shift. And most people want to give up that shift. That's the slowest shift.
slow one,
course.
right? Yeah.
And we try to give slow shifts with,
You have to, because
Great
someone has to
shifts.
work the slow shifts.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't. You
everybody
can't-
wants to work Friday, Saturday.
Right. You can't hire
Nobody
somebody and
wants
just
to work
give them the
Monday,
3
Tuesday.
slowest shifts a week.
So what you got to do is you got to balance that. And if they can't make it on that slow day and they want to give it up, you say, well, I'll get somebody else to work your shifts. It's
a package deal.
it's a package deal. This is what you're working.
And the one thing that I've heard, I don't know if it's anybody from the industry, but I've heard, maybe brewery industry, but I told them I can work Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or whatever the days are. They keep scheduling me Friday. They know I have school. They know I have childcare, whatever. They keep scheduling me Friday. I can't work Friday, and then they'll fucking leave it.
Yeah.
It's like
I would.
Yeah, I would too. And that's one of the reasons why I left one of my other jobs, because they're like, you need to work overnights. I'm like, you can go fuck yourself.
And that respect
overnights.
I talked about goes both ways.
Yeah.
They have to respect the business that they're working in, and the business has to respect them also.
And that's the reason why I bring it up, is because like you can't just point the finger at them. You have to make sure you're upholding your side of the agreement. And if you are, and it truly is them that's fucking up and calling out, then that's on them.
That's correct.
It's not always the employee's fault, Karl.
Most of the times.
David Loomis, what was the first booze you puked from? Southern Comfort, still can't stand the smell. Do you have that alcohol you have a lifelong aversion to?
Peppermint schnapps.
Bailey's.
Baileys, really?
How much
Yeah.
Baileys do you have to drink to throw
Were you a
up?
grandmother when you were a child?
No, well, I went to a Halloween party with this girl I had just started dating. I was 16 or 17. My buddy was older and got us all booze, and I asked her what she wanted him to grab. She was my age, and she said Jägermeister with a bottle of Sprite so I can chase it, and I didn't know what Jaeger was. So I told my friend that he's like, no, I'm like, yeah, she wants Jägermeister. Like, oh, that black stuff, though, she's hardcore, man. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I was just going to get like a 6-pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade or something.
Yeah.
I was 16 years old, whatever. And I was like, I don't know, just give me a bottle. And the first thing I thought of was Bailey's. I was like, just give me a bottle of Bailey's. I'll sip on that all night, whatever. So those bottles are like heavy. They're thick bottles.
Yeah,
so
you
don't
can't tell when they're empty.
Yeah. So I'm just pouring it over ice, and she's sitting on the side of me whacking off this green bottle of Jaeger. And I'm like looking at her and trying to pace myself with her. And I finished the bottle in like a half an hour.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was like a 750. I think I finished it in a half an hour.
God.
Yeah, I spent the rest of the night on the bathroom floor throwing up.
Nice. What about you, Teddy?
Yeah.
I think that I was going to say the caller.
The caller. Yeah. They called in, Teddy.
The caller mentioned the Southern Comfort, and I think that it's got to be one of the more universal ones.
Southern Comfort.
Yeah,
Southern Comfort, man.
I threw one house party in high school, and my girlfriend broke up with me like 20 minutes before everyone showed up, and I just drank way too much Southern Comfort. I still don't like it, but it was years before.
And that Southern Comfort, I believe, years ago, if not, it might still be true, they come in 2 alcohol percentages.
Yeah, it's 100 proof SoCo.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
and then
100 proof.
I think maybe 80.
Maybe that was
Yeah.
part of the problem.
Yeah,
So it
there's
depends
100
on which
proof.
one you pick.
The
Yeah.
one with the black ribbon on it's the 100 proof.
Oh,
It's
no, I
not, it's
couldn't
not
even-
easy to come by. You're probably drinking the
it was-
red
Yeah,
or
I haven't
whatever.
seen it in a long time, and I haven't
Yeah.
really checked, but I know back in the day it was, you could pick one or the other.
Yeah, so now I do one shot a year to remember my father, because that was like his drink of choice.
There you go.
He liked it?
He loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, if you get the right batch, you can just sit there and knock them back. And I'm thinking to myself,
That's because he got the 80 proof one.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, I'm like, oof, no, I would just vomit.
I like how
nonstop.
that's kind of like the universal one, though. I hear SoCo. It's SoCo or Captain Morgan. Those are the two.
I
that
feel like
really-
SoCo is one of those ones where you start drinking early because it's kind of
Well,
sweet.
yeah.
and
Yeah.
But you
yeah.
got to remember, too, is it's been around for a
That's true,
long
that's
true.
time.
Yeah, it's terrible. I hate it.
I mean, when Teddy was born, Tito wasn't even around.
And my
that's
annual shot's
all of
coming
us.
up. Jesus Christ. 3 weeks, we're doing a shot of Southern Comfort. Shane Saw Goodall. What's the dumbest thing you've ever seen a server do? Oh, Teddy, we didn't explain. We don't mention names specifically if it's a bad thing. So, like, if you're giving praise, you can say whatever you want. But if you're gonna like say something stupid that Karl did, you can't bring up his name. You'd have to go, I know this guy that
the name of the
owns
restaurant.
Carl
Yeah.
the exception to this?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Why? What'd you see me do?
So, dumbest thing you've ever seen a server do?
I feel like I have 100 of these and I can't think of one
God.
right now.
I'm gonna tell you one because I ran into
It's like
her.
a Sean Coburn
I
friggin'
ran into her
conversation.
recently.
I just saw him.
Yeah, I ran into her recently here. I was here for the Bayside High show. If you're in Plymouth, check out Bayside High if they're playing anywhere. They were fucking amazing.
Speedball bartender. lead
Yeah,
singer.
Nikki. They
yeah.
were great.
Talented girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I ran to this server. She used to work at Lucioso's, and Lucioso's is one of those bars where their alcohol is basically out of reach, like the top shelf stuff.
Yeah.
So they need a step stool. And one of the bartenders put the step stool like right at the service station because they had to get something, and then was so busy they left the step stool, and I was sitting the first seat right there. The server comes over, folds up the step stool, and like tucks it away. I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "What?" I'm like, "That's my step stool." She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry," and she takes it out and she pulls it back down. And then I was in fucking hysterics because I'm like, I'm just digging her. Like, she was so apologetic, and then like, she was pissed when she figured
You're
it
a
out.
terrible person.
I am. I know that.
Wow. That's not dumb. That's just
I mean,
her
I don't
reacting
know,
to
but
like
it
her
was
hospitable.
really funny.
I don't know, really. I can't think of anything the dumbest. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many dumb things that.
Yeah, but like a good story with like something funny. Like I feel like I have a couple and I can't think of one, and it sucks because
I had one. I believe they came over and it was the buffalo sauce, and they said, "Is the buffalo sauce really spicy?" And she says, "I don't know. I don't eat meat."
Oh yeah, you told me that one. Yeah,
And that's one of those kind of like.
That's good.
That kind of makes sense because typically you put it on meat.
No, we put
I
it on
think she
cauliflower.
thought-
we put it on
You
just
did.
about everything.
That's true. Yeah.
thought it was made with buffalo.
Yeah, she
That's good
thought it
shit.
was.
And we've got a lot of them with like brewery names and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I just can't think of one. That's a great one. That's a specific
a good one.
Yeah, I can't think of one.
All right, next question.
Thanks for adding to the podcast, Jordan.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
That's why we get reviews.
I either
saying
talk too much or I
That's
got
why we get
nothing.
1-star reviews because
They were boring.
I get those star and you get nothing else.
you got to carry the other 4 stars.
I
Jordan.
know.
Toby Hilbert, how many people here have quit a job with no notice? I was always taught to never burn bridges, and see a lot of people burning them down lately, and I don't get it.
Never done it.
I would say within this industry, you shouldn't burn bridges. Because
I don't think you.
especially in Plymouth area,
we
there's a
all
lot
know
of
each
bars.
other, yeah.
Everybody knows
Yeah.
somebody, and they might not know you, but they know that you worked at the New World Tavern, and they're going to give me a call.
Yep.
So you're best to not burn bridges, even with with employees, from the business point,
Yeah.
because people know, hey, Carl's an asshole over there, and he fires everybody over nothing. Nobody's going to come work for you.
Right.
So yeah, around here in Plymouth, it's you just don't burn your. If somebody comes in, and I'm hiring them, and they say I work at such and such a bar, I said, well, why you're leaving, number one, and have you given your notice? Because I'm not poaching. Oh no, I gave my notice 2 weeks ago. My last day was Wednesday. I'm looking for a new position. All right, you're hired. And then I hear him go, well, I got to go back and give him my notice. Wait, ho, you just said you gave me a notice.
Right.
Now
Yeah.
you're lying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you or did
Two
you not?
demerits.
So yeah, you don't want to burn your bridges because people are going to make phone calls.
Yeah.
Do your due diligence before you hire somebody. And even if I know them, I'll still call up and say, hey, this person's thinking about, this person applied for a position here. What do you think?
Right.
Well, why are they leaving here? Hey, listen, I don't know why they're leaving your place. I'm just telling you that they applied here.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't hire them without acknowledging their last employer to say, hey, so-and-so is here for a job. I'm thinking about hiring them. What do you think?
Do you have the situation that this person's dealing with where like someone just stopped showing up, no call, no
yeah.
show, and never talked to them
Yep.
again? I don't have that too often, but you know what we've recently, since COVID, like getting people in, even just for the job interview, you'll schedule an interview, you'll talk to the person via email or phone, and then they just don't show up to the interview.
Yep.
Or they show up for 2 or 3 trainings, and then you're like, okay, you start next week, never hear from them again. It's weird, man. It's like, someone had told me like they got to do that to like keep collecting unemployment, like prove you were looking for employment, so that might be why.
I don't know
But-
how true that is.
Yeah, I don't know who keeps track of that.
Because
We talked about that.
especially during COVID, because there were so many people who were unemployed. There's no way that unemployment could
Right.
follow up with every. Did you actually show up for this?
That's correct.
But when I was working at Home Depot, I'd say 2 in 10 interviews, and this was pre-COVID. This was just normal times. 2 in 10 wouldn't show up.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and then like the weird shit. To me, it's like if you can't hold your shit together for the 15 minutes in an interview, there's no way I'm fucking hiring. Because that's your best foot forward. If
Right.
you show up and you look like a slob, you don't have to be in a suit. But
Nope.
if you look like fuck off. I had one guy showed up, I think 2 hours late, and he's like, I got on the wrong bus. I don't expect you to interview me now. I'm like, cool, because I'm not gonna. Mm-hmm. You could have called. You could have done a numerous number of things. Like, you just show up and like, no, fuck off.
Right.
Like, it's not going to happen.
But, I don't want to sound like my father, but, your first impression is your best impression. You can
Right.
never make another first impression. It really is true.
Yeah.
Correct.
If somebody comes in and they got their shit together, I'll hire him. I don't even know his experience. He hasn't worked for me yet. So I
Right.
don't know if he can do all the things he says he can. But if he can answer all the questions that I'm answering in a professional manner,
Yep.
I'd be more apt to hire him than someone's really good at their job and they come in and I'm like, you don't even care how you look. How are you going to care how the food goes out?
Right.
And I've even hired people that held their shit together for 15 minutes that within 6 months, I'm like, how on earth did you hold your shit together for the interview? Because you're out of your fucking...
Right? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
Listen,
100%.
you never know until
Oh,
you're right.
man.
I would say 3 months. 3 months into the job, then you
Yeah.
learn who these people are.
It's so true.
I'd like to say that a lot of these problems we're talking about are more recent,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
since COVID.
Yeah, they write in, like, now, Teddy. They don't write in from, like, 2 years ago.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it didn't like 6 years ago. You didn't have
No.
kids ghosting
No.
on interviews.
Nope.
Or did you?
But that's
You
what I'm saying. It's
I
like
didn't.
that,
It's more and more
No.
now.
when I was
crazy.
hiring for Home Depot, it was I haven't worked there in close to 8 years now, and we had people ghost all the time.
Yeah. When we opened 10 years ago, we had a line out the door
yeah,
of applicants.
Yeah.
I mean, literally a line out the door. Hold on, we'll deal with this one. Okay, we'll be with you in about 15 minutes. And now I mean, we had our pick of who to hire and who didn't. And now it's like, I hope somebody comes in.
Yeah, it's crazy. What was the question? Did we answer that?
I
it
think
doesn't
they were
matter.
just saying, how do you deal with people who just fall
Oh.
off the face of the earth?
Yeah, just
How do you deal with it? It's just it's tough.
Day by day.
All right, I find this
But
one
we're all
very...
dealing with it,
I
though.
feel
How about
like-
this one before you ask the next question? The ones that don't come in, they work for you for, let's say, a month, 2 months, 3 months. No call, no show. You never see them again.
That's what I'm talking
Then
about.
all of a sudden they show up to your bar having a beer.
Yeah.
Like, why would you come in here?
Right.
Well, I'm curious.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that actually
Well, I
happens.
want
Yeah.
to be a good customer.
Does that ever happen? Like someone no call, no show, and then
Yeah.
in 2 weeks you go over and you see him at Jordan's place working?
No. Because we talk.
Yeah.
I'm saying no call, no show here.
Yeah. No,
And-
but I'm just saying.
and
like,
they show
if-
up for a beer.
If they no call, no show, and then you see them out working somewhere else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
do see that.
Yeah.
I didn't mean you specifically.
Yep.
just-
No, no.
No,
right,
you do
but-
see that.
Yeah.
And
you'll see
that's That's what happens these days because restaurants are so hard up for employees. They don't call anybody. They just say, you're hired.
Yeah,
I'm not even
yeah.
going to call you other places because I'm going to take a chance.
that. Right.
Yeah.
And then you walk in for a drink and you're like, I just fired this bartender 2 weeks ago.
All right, this one I find very interesting, and I feel like Karl might be the expert on this. Christine Vigil. Is sexual harassment a non-thing in your restaurant? I've been in the business for over 30 years, front of house. I've always found that flirty to dirty talk between front of house and back of house is common and hardly anyone gets offended. So when I first started coming to Plymouth and hanging out, we
I
used to
thought
hang-
this was a continuation of the.
no,
I know.
no. I used to hang out at Fridays. That was like the go-to place. And so I have tons of friends there, and they're like, the conversations we would have were horrendous. And they're like, the I don't know, cancel culture or whatever. But is that a common thing in the restaurant industry?
It is what you let it be.
Yeah.
So if the front of the house is, I'll call it flirting. I don't want to use sexual harassment. I think everybody does that.
Yeah.
And
Especially compared to like a corporate situation.
correct.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody's uncomfortable by the situation, I don't know of it until that situation arises.
Yeah.
And then you got to say, hey, you can't do that anymore. But if it's one person to one person, that's fine. If it's a flirty bartender that comes into the kitchen and she's just making statements to be funny, then that's what you could curb. But I also think that flirtation is not for everybody,
Sure.
but it's a little more in this industry. And it all depends on how you receive that flirtation. So if somebody's being sexually harassed, that to me that's horrible. And I don't want to say there's levels of harassment, but if you're flirting with somebody and it goes to a level that you're uncomfortable with, we can stop that. But shame on you for letting it get to that level. So yes, sexual harassment does happen, but it's all how you perceive it. If you're just flirting with the cooks or the cooks are flirting with the bartenders, then that's life. People flirt. If it comes to a point where you're uncomfortable with it, and I'm not talking physical flirtation, we're talking about,
Yeah.
Comments.
comments, jokes, then I'm okay with it. But if it bothers somebody, then it has to stop. It has to stop for everybody.
Right.
And it never stops for everybody. Because some people, it's just their personality.
So why did you think Karl would be the expert on this?
Because I feel like there's probably
Because everybody flirts with me, and I'm uncomfortable.
Because Karl says inappropriate things?
He just met with his lawyer, I think.
I've never really had any issues with that between employees. I've had customers say shit to my bartenders and servers where we've had to, regulars even, and had to be cut the shit or don't come back. But between staff and front of the house, I've been pretty fortunate where, I don't know if it's generational, because I've worked in other restaurants where it was rampant. And it was these older cooks and older waitresses that have been there for a while, and shit that was said that was you're okay
What are you
with
talking
that?
about? Everybody in your place sleeps with everybody.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But I'm sure some of it is
Second case.
generational.
Maybe the regulars, but not each other.
I'm sure it is generational because things have changed.
Right.
But I also feel like some of it is based on the type of people. The people that do very well serving and bartending are a little flirty by nature.
No, they sell
That's correct.
themselves
Yeah,
too, right.
they're flirty to the clientele, get some better tips. Right or wrong, that's how it works. That's their personality. They're not going to shut it off when they go to.
That's correct.
To pick up your food in the kitchen. They're going to.
But if somebody's being a creep,
Yeah.
then we can solve that problem.
I've never had that situation where I was managing an employee that was being a creep or was being creeped on like that. I don't know why.
Just because Karl doesn't work for you.
It's because you wear. That's because you wear blinders. Okay?
No, I'm
Open
telling
your
you.
eyes to what's happening in the workplace.
Paul, I'm there, man. I'm
Okay.
telling you, I don't see it.
Because my lawyer says
I think it's
that is
generational.
not an excuse.
I think the kids are. You know what? I
He
don't
says
think
that's
that-
not an excuse, Karl.
I don't think the kids are confident like that anymore. They're used to getting their dates on Tinder, so they won't go at a girl. Or go at it. You know what I mean? They don't have that aggressive pursuit anymore. They
That's a
just.
good point.
You know what I'm
Tinder.
saying?
Isaac Asimov, sci-fi author,
Oh yeah.
was talking about sexual harassment, and it was the whole I think there was a big thing about a Jerry Seinfeld episode where someone was suing the place she worked for because someone was talking about the Seinfeld episode at work or whatever. And the whole thing is wanted and unwanted. Part of what sexual harassment is it's unwanted advancements.
Correct.
Right.
Well, you don't know it's unwanted until you make the first advancement.
Right.
And Isaac Asimov's response was, I sexually harassed my wife for years until she married me. Right or wrong, that's what he said. I thought it was funny.
It's not harassment if you like it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Tiffany Davis. Got any tips for a dishwasher, smoke weed, with potential to move up to a prep/line cook? The self-doubt is real. So this sounds like someone who doesn't have the confidence to put themselves out for a prep or a line cook.
Oh, you got to have confidence because you can't be a line cook without it.
Right. Listen to what the chef or the head cook tells you to do and asks you to do.
And ask for more. Say, hey, listen,
Right.
it's slow in the dish pit. You mind if I kind of stand behind here and learn how to do this?
Right.
Yeah.
People in the kitchen love that.
Right. And if you don't know how to do something, don't pretend you do and fuck
No.
it up.
No,
Because that's
ask.
a waste of food, waste of time. Ask questions.
And ask questions that the cooks might not know the answer, but ask the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you do this? Why do you do this for so long?
Right.
What will happen if you don't do this for so long?
Right.
Even if it's a stupid question, you're still learning.
That's
You
right.
know, if it's a stupid question, you only have to ask it once
Right.
because they're going to tell you it's a stupid question.
I would say most, if I don't want to say all because it's never all, I would say most of the dishwashers we've ever had have moved up into line cooks
Yeah.
because we want to hire from within. And if that dishwasher wants to make the next step, make a few more bucks an hour, then that's the person I want because I already know they're going to show up every day because they have been showing up every
Yep.
day. So why not move those people up and take a chance with the dishwasher rather than taking a chance with somebody you don't know for a cook?
Right. And you can kind of overlap their dishwashing shifts with their training.
I would say to that dishwasher, you're next in line, baby.
Yep. Get ready.
And I'm going to give this dishwasher the same advice I gave my son. My son's getting into the workforce now. And I said, you're going to fuck up. everybody does. Don't take responsibility. Be like, I fucked up.
Right.
Don't try to hide it. Don't
Yep.
try to make an excuse. Just be like, my bad. What can I do to fix it?
Right.
You know, because everyone does it.
Don't do like I do and say, it wasn't me.
You just blame Jess. Sager Mac. What's y'all's nicknames at work? They call me the Wing King. Do they?
No, you call you the
Yeah, I
Wing
feel like
King.
that's a nickname you give yourself.
They don't have nicknames for me.
Well, that you know about.
You are a nickname.
Well, we all have nicknames for you.
You're like Prince. It's just everyone knows who Karl is. Everybody knows who Prince is. Like you don't have to have Karl Heine.
you call me a
just
Prince?
Karl. Yeah, I guess.
I think we determined my nickname is Damn It, Andy. Because it seems like everyone who talks to me is like, Damn it, Andy.
Oh yeah, that is a thing.
It happens a lot.
How about this? What nickname would you want?
That's a better question.
Ted, you go first.
I'm afraid to answer this. I'm kind of the old man at that house, and
They call you Dad, right?
well, they actually they call Dad because he's got kids now.
Oh right.
So he took that title.
Because
Which is
Pete was
fine.
calling you that for a while.
Do you
right?
have a favorite
Well, Pete
nickname that you've been
calls
given?
me his dad.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is my dad.
yeah.
Which
So now you went from dad to the old man?
no, I'm the old man. I am the oldest employee they have. So, but I'm afraid to really figure out. I'm sure they have names for me.
Have you had a nickname in the past that you were like, well, it's kind of good?
I mean, nothing that's restaurant related, really. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Now that kids get Tinder, they don't do the nicknames anymore.
I have a lot of kids over there with.
We got cheese.
Yeah, Cheese, Rangus, Ozzy.
Yeah, but his last name's Cheeseman.
Yeah, but his nickname, he goes by Cheese. No one knows his first. Do you know his first name?
Yes, I do.
What is it? You know it because you do his paperwork for when he plays bands there, but you don't know it, no.
I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, and he'd kill me if I told you.
I was
Is it Richard?
Nope.
No.
Get it? That'd be a good one, Richard Cheese. Yeah, Dick Cheese.
I was out with a lady friend of mine, and we were at Mayflower. This was going back a while now, because she's not there anymore. But the bartender brought over the tab, and I go, "Thanks, Pumpkin," and she like turns on me. Did you just call her Pumpkin? I'm like, that's her name. I don't know what her name is. Everyone calls her Pumpkin.
That's another one.
Don't yell at me.
That's a great example. Pumpkin. A lot of people don't know her
Couldn't
first name.
even- I know now, but like at
Yeah.
the time, I'm like, I'd never heard anyone call her anything other than Pumpkin.
Yeah.
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 What do you think, Fish?
Ling Ling.
Oh, Ling Ling, yeah.
I have Ling Ling, Ozzy, Cheese, Rangus. We have Fish right
Fish.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have a nickname for myself though.
No.
I never had one.
Jordo.
We got one for you.
Yeah, it's just Jordo. Everyone
Jordo.
calls me Jordo.
Yeah, no nickname has ever really stuck for me.
No,
Not since high school.
it's just we're not cool enough, man.
I guess not. Whatever.
Cool.
Ben Melton, what aspect of your mental health do you think is most affected by this job?
Huh, what aspect of
Ooh.
your mental health is your mental health the aspect?
Generally, yeah, sure. Patience.
Thank you, Karl. We're trying to break this fucking thing down. You got mental health or you don't.
Yeah.
How about all?
All the above.
Yeah, I mean,
Especially this past year. Or
yeah.
past 2 years, I should say.
Yeah, this little game of red light, green light we've been playing for the last almost 2 years has been a fucking torture. But you know what? Persevere. It feels pretty good, right? So
Yeah.
I guess it's good for your mental health.
Everyone's still here.
Yeah, yeah.
We're on the other side of it now, so it's
Right.
kind of like you can pat yourself on the back.
I like to think we pretend the restaurant industry makes us crazy when I think you have to be crazy to be in the restaurant industry.
Well, that's always the $84,000
Yeah, right,
question or
yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
that was.
You have to
Torture.
be a little
You
bit
got
of
to put
crazy.
yourself through the torture.
Yeah, exactly. We're all a bunch of masochists.
I'm finding since I have struck out and done an Inebriar full time, it is exceptionally lonely.
Yeah,
Because I spend a lot of time sitting in a room alone.
We were
just
talking
fucking
about
sending
that
out
the other day.
emails and, you know, people are like, oh, you know everybody. I'm like, yeah.
I
But
could use a little lonely time.
you could use a
Okay.
little lonely time.
you put
Is
yourself
that,
out
Is that what
there,
you
though.
call it?
That's what your Mondays were until we started coming over.
I said that today. I'm like, you know, I love these podcasts, but I hate doing them on Monday because it takes my whole day up.
Yep.
It's better than the.
But you won't come out on a Tuesday, will you?
No.
Yeah. Because that's your other mental health day.
I used to be a golfer, but
Oh, right.
now it's a little chilly.
Yeah.
It was a little brisk. This one was from I saw on my own Facebook timeline, and I just thought it was a funny question. Which is fancier, Applebee's or Olive Garden?
Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Way fancier.
I don't know if I've ever been
They
to an
wear
Applebee's.
ties. Oh, do they wear ties at Applebee's?
I don't think so.
No. No.
I
I
just
don't
don't
think
know
they
if I've
have
ever
like
been to
soap
one.
in the bathrooms at Applebee's.
Isn't that required?
I don't think you're thinking the right spot.
Yeah.
Have you been to Applebee's recently?
But that's a good dive bar
I was gonna say,
qualification.
do they
have soap
soap in
in
the
the
dive bar? They have chain dive bars?
Full paper towels?
Not
That's a
shitting on
thing?
Applebee's, but I'm kind of shitting on Applebee's. When you're serving $1 margaritas as a chain restaurant, something's not right.
Oh,
Dude,
no,
if they were serving $1 margaritas,
They
I'd be
are
there right now.
They are.
Where's
They
an
do it.
Applebee's?
Mondays
know.
and Tuesdays?
No
$1
idea.
margaritas or $1 20-ounce Bud Selects.
For someone who's shitting all over Applebee's, he seems to go there a lot.
Yeah, you see, you know an awful lot about them.
I like dive bars. Dive chains.
Dive chains.
No, Olive Garden's way fancier, right?
I've been all. I don't ever think I've been to.
I mean, they present you your bottle of wine if you buy. Like, I don't know.
Are you all right?
Yeah,
I
they
don't
do.
think you're
That.
thinking about the
No,
right
Olive Garden
spots.
does that shit, man. I don't know.
When's the last
one
time
in,
you bought a bottle of wine at Olive Garden?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
But they did do that. And you get soup salad and bread.
They have soft bread.
That's fancy shit, man.
I like soft bread.
Yeah. What kind of question is that? Applebee's or Olive Garden?
I don't know. It's just on my timeline.
Now I wanna know where they're at.
I thought it was funny, so this did exactly.
The
what
real
I
hard
wanted.
bread hurts
They
my
must be
teeth.
really fancy Applebee's where these people are
I
from.
guess. Andrea Lynn, what are you doing for your staff this year for Christmas?
Giving them Friday and Saturday off.
It's
Awful nice of you, Karl.
Giving them the day off. I owe a Christmas party every January. Maybe I'll do that here. Can I bother you for that?
Yeah, whatever.
All right, cool.
Nothing.
No, I don't want to anymore.
I don't actually have a staff, but yeah, I would give them the
He said
Friday or
staff.
Saturday though.
Yeah.
I don't have a staff.
David
I think
Sil-
I have Friday and Saturday off.
Yeah. Nice. David Silverman, who does catering? Do you have a catering manager? Are they salary, commission, or both? I don't
We do
think
not.
Either of you have a catering
We don't
manager.
because
Dylan does
we
some
wouldn't be
catering
able to
already.
Yeah, we
handle
do.
it.
Yeah.
It's just a rat race, and they try to get as much as possible done. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. And it's coming out of the same kitchen that's running the restaurant. That's
typically.
tough.
I mean, the big jobs they'll lease out
Yeah.
kitchen, a commissary kind of thing. But you're still running a restaurant and then throwing out weddings and things like that on top. There's a whole other staff
Yeah.
involved with that for big events.
It's a lot of work, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of
It
work.
is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. You make a lot of money, but it's definitely you're hopping. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Takes away from a lot of things.
I bet.
Yeah.
This one's not dissimilar. Tracy Wallace. Anyone get their staff anything other than turkeys for Thanksgiving? Does anyone get their staff turkeys for Thanksgiving?
No, they get the day off.
That's
Aren't-
kind of a traditional sort of thing with
Aren't they
corporate, especially. They
crazy expensive
Oh,
right now
right.
too.
yeah, but I mean, I don't think they're crazy. There was some kind of a
Yeah.
limit. There were
Everything goes up.
limited.
Yeah.
But I mean, even then, even the corporate where you pick up your turkey is kind of a.
I've never
People really
worked
want
for
that.
anyone that
Right.
gave me a turkey.
Yeah,
I worked
now-
at grocery stores.
My aunt used to come home every year with That's right. You would get a turkey. Huh. I forgot about that.
Yeah, no.
All right. Jimmy Porter, let's talk labor. I have cut back on overtime to almost nothing, and I'm still struggling to run a good labor percent. Am I shooting for unrealistic numbers? Are you guys doing a lot of overtime? with your
Yeah,
people?
good amount. Well, and I'm starting to get back to earth a little bit, but with the shortage of finding good kitchen help, the guys that I have on hand had to kind of step up and pick up some hours. So, but you just pay them the over. You're appreciating the fact that they're showing up. I don't care paying them time and a half, man. If they're working 50 hours a week, they deserve that extra money. In my opinion, it's exhausting.
What about you, Teddy? You doing a bunch of overtime at Dillon's?
I'm not, but I've got a book to sell, so that's my overtime.
Well, speaking of that, we are at last call. So this is part of the show where we go around the table and people can plug whatever they want. I feel like, Teddy, you have something to plug.
Yeah, if you love dive bars, and I know a lot of people do, you can check out my new book. It's called The Dive Bar Qualifier. It's available on Amazon, and then if like a lot of people I'm finding don't like Jeff Bezos.
It's weird,
I'm-
right?
I'm also doing an event coming up at the Mayflower Brewery. You can buy one from me and have it signed if you like, or just show up and have fun at the party. Jeff Hilliard's playing, and Dylan's Food Truck's going to be there, and it's just going to be a fun party night at the brewery December 4th, 6 to 10 in Plymouth, Mayflower.
Karl Heine, what do you got?
I'm going to plug myself. What you laughing for? Come on down to the New World Tavern. Great looking owner. Okay staff. Decent food. Okay music.
Getting the approval from your.
Don't come down on parade day.
General managers over there want to critique your ad. Well, one spot specifically. Jordan, what do you got?
You know, I'll plug Speedwell Tavern. Everyone's going to plug themselves. I haven't done that in a long time. I'm getting jealous watching you over there plugging yourself, Karl. Speedwell Tavern, 47 Main Street in Plymouth. We got a new menu dropping in about a week. By the time you listen to this, it'll probably already be rolling. Simplified some things, added some favorites, specials, and added some new fun stuff. Live music's back 5 nights a week. And we are getting to the holiday season. Grab some gift cards. No good gift quite like grossly underpriced chicken wings at the Speedwell Tavern.
All right. I'm going to stick with the trend. During COVID, we started a virtual comedy show called the Non-Essential Comedy Show. Since things are opening up again, we have taken that into the real world, and we've been getting some really great crowds. And it's kind of sort of on the road, I guess. It's not in one location. We're here at the New World Tavern on the third Wednesday of every month, which is coming up this Wednesday. We were at, where the hell were we? Barrelhouse Z on last Friday. We're going to be at 10th District this coming Friday. We have shows booked with Berkeley Beer and Taunton. So if you like comedy, go to inebriart.com, check out the event schedule for the Non-Essential Comedy Show. The past show we had 3 semifinalists for the Boston Comedy Festival. So the number one thing we keep getting is, wow, this was really funny. And I'm like, yeah, they're fucking professionals. Of course they're funny. But yeah, check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's $10 a ticket wherever we are, and everyone has a blast. And I mean, most people aren't offended, but you know that happens. You can follow us on all social medias at BarTalk Cast. You can email us at bartalkcast@gmail.com with your questions, complaints. We love complaints for some fucked up reason.
We don't get them, though. We're just too good.
Yeah, I guess we are. We got one recently.
Yeah, that was fake. That wasn't even real.
Fake news.
Fake news. Yeah, so send everything there, and we will pretty much read it because we're whores that way. And if you go to inebriart.com, we have some BarTalk merch. You can get pint glasses and shot glasses, so check them out there.
Let's go.
Yep. That's it. And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/inebriart to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at inebriart.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at inebriart or at inebriart6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, BarTalk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebriart, and all the other shows on the Inebriart Network, which you can find at inebriart.com. Thanks again for listening.